Hello, you are listening to the Diary of Jack Simmonds. This is, how would you put it, an impromptu start of something I'm not even that sure about. I thought it could be quite fun, quite interesting to document what is happening in my life and put it out into the world. Obviously, everything in my head is screaming no. Don't do it. Don't share everything that you know and what you think. Don't let people in on your innermost desires and goals. That's crazy. That's mad. What will people think of me? And yeah, a big part of me just thinks, fuck that. But the other half of me thinks, nah, fuck it. I will do it. Also, if you're offended by, language, words, then switch off because you're not going to like this. There is swearing in it and it's real. So what I want to do is just to document, hopefully weekly, the things that happen to me. Let you in on my life and what happens in it. I got up at around 10:30 this morning. No, 9:30. And it's because I couldn't sleep last night. I was really tired, but when you get that last minute thing at about midnight, second wind I think they call it, which just went straight into me, and I had all these ideas flooding into my brain, so I had to get my notebook out and sit there and write them all down. I had this crazy silly idea of starting a improv group in Norwich, which is where I live, by the way. And I thought, I wonder if I could start that improv group on meetup.com and get some like-minded comedy people involved, might meet some new people, make some friends, all of that kind of shit, right? And I thought, okay, let's do that. That would be quite interesting. That would be quite fun, once a week, meet up. But it would mean that I would be the kind of leader, which does spark some interest in the egotistical part of my brain. But in the other part, it's thinking, oh God, that means I've got to fucking organise shit, come up with games and structure everything and say, hello everybody, welcome to this newest edition, welcome everybody to this new improv group, hello, welcome. And what if nobody turns up? It would just be a disaster. Perhaps I'll have paid for a room and nobody turns up. But I suppose you just have to do these things, don't you? And then build it and they will come, I reckon. Mind you, it doesn't work for everything because I've built many things before and nobody came. For instance, I don't know if you know this, but I've actually written 12 books. Nobody buys them. I looked at my royalties this morning on KDP, which is the thing where you upload your books to Amazon. I think this month I've made about £2.50 from 12 books. It took me about 3 years to write them. It's ridiculous. However, I was looking at becoming an audio book narrator yesterday because this is the thing. I need to get a side hustle on the go to try and make some extra money every month. At the moment, I'm about collectively massively in debt. I don't want to tell you the real number, but I'm in debt badly. Lockdown has fucked me over debt-wise. So I need to do something. What do I need to do? I'm not too sure. I've tried a number of things, but they haven't quite worked out. But I do have an acting background, and I have written my own books. So if I became an audiobook narrator and listed myself online, I don't know how you go about that, but I had my first book, Avis Blackthorn is Not an Evil Wizard, narrated by somebody called Joel Frumpkin. He was a nice guy. He was American, but he did a really good British accent. Probably better than I could have done the book. But he took 50%, which admittedly is fair, but it was a police car going past. It's nice and real for you, isn't it? For you sitting at home listening to this, nice and real police car going past. Lovely. Bit of authenticity. I don't know why I feel under pressure to be funny, but I've certainly got a voice for the radio. Let's just put it like that. No, what is it? I've certainly got a face for the radio. That's it. Don't worry, I'll leave the mistakes in. I'm not going to edit this too much because I can't be bothered, frankly. Saw the old man across the road yesterday. I see him every day. There's this old man. Because I live on a road that has these, what do you call them, retirement flats along it. It's actually a pretty funny street because not only is there a retirement flats full of oldies, there's also a homeless shelter. So you've got a really eclectic mix of fucking people walking up and down this road, and it's just off the main road. So as well as what you'd call normal people like me, you've got old retirement people, wandering up the road, dishevelled and unkempt, and then you've also got a bunch of homeless people wandering up the road, dishevelled and unkempt. It's a fucking messy area. Jesus. As well as me, and I don't look that good. Half the time I can barely be bothered to put some trousers on to go out for a walk. Anyway, this old man, I see him every day. He always goes out for long walks, and he must be in his 70s, and he always wears beige clothes. You know, smart, but beige. And he clearly hasn't had a haircut for a long time, so he's got long grey hair which goes down just past his shoulders. He's always dressed well, you know, nice and smart. And he always has a carrier bag which he holds behind him. You know, like old men, when they walk, they have their arms behind their back, don't they? I don't know why. I suppose it's quite comfortable. I wouldn't mind doing that, but I feel like people will look at me and be like, how old are you? Do you know what I mean? So I resist the urge to do that. But I always see him every day. Sometimes I walk past him and I say, all right. And he goes, all right, which is quite funny. So we're on nodding terms. I don't want to become friends with him. Not because I'm a nasty person. I just know that when you get involved with an old person like that, you know, they might ask you to do stuff or whatever. And I'm not up for that. Like popping the piles back in or something. I know I'm too nice. So I just get the feeling that, you know, that would happen somehow. I'd get roped into that. You know, I wouldn't even do that if you paid me. You know, I wouldn't even become a carer because it would involve wiping old people's asses and stuff, you know, and the smell and that. So I'm not doing it for fun. I'm not horrible. I just don't want to do that. Yeah, you got some funny characters around here. There's a guy, I've got a shop opposite me. It's a little Budgeons, little convenience store. It's all right though. It does your main shopping bits, sort of like a Tesco Express, but a Budgeons. And I'm usually in there most days, you know, buying little bits and bobs for dinner. And there's a guy that's always working in there. He might be sort of manager or assistant manager, but to me, I mean, I can't get this out of my head now. He looks like a recovering drug addict, like a recovering heroin addict or something. He's a nice enough guy. Like always, you know, he always says, how are you, whatever, and all that. But he's got sort of long, greasy hair and a couple of gaps in his teeth and things like that. And, you know, he looks like a great guy. He's probably a really nice man. But that's just what I think of him. I think he looks like a recovering heroin addict. He's probably not. He's probably nothing, never even touched drugs. That's just what I think whenever I see him. I know it's bad. Oh, you judgmental bastard. How dare you judge people on their looks? Yeah, I know. You can't say anything these days. For instance, one of my YouTube videos, which I made about Norfolk, which is where I'm fucking from, I made this video taking a piss out of the Norfolk accent. It's actually of these children, archive footage from the BBC about, I don't know, it's 1980s or something, about this school. And you've got these kids and they're sitting there talking about Doctor Who, he looked dippy, right dippy. He sounds dippy and all the people, you know, he got Doctor Who going on, girl, and all these things like that. I thought it's bloody hilarious. The Norfolk accent is one of the most hilarious accents you'll ever hear, right? So I made a video about that. It's one of the first videos I made. Oddly enough, the least amount of effort I put into that video, and it has the most views. I mean, I really don't understand how YouTube works, or the algorithm or anything. It must be the case that it's got Norfolk accent in the title of the YouTube video, and so that is getting searched for. People are searching for the Norfolk accent to copy it or see what it's about, and they're finding that video. And I think it's got nearly 4,000 views with 36 dislikes and 37 likes, thumbs up and thumbs down. So it's about 50-50. But bloody hell, I get comments daily, well, not daily, but weekly, let's say, from people going, oh, you shouldn't be horrible, you shouldn't be nasty about people. You know, oh, I hate this kind of humour where somebody's nasty about somebody just because of their accent. And it's like, well, surely you could extend that to anything. I could be offended by anything. I could go, oh, that football offends me. Let's ban it, you know. I'm not going to delete the video. That's ridiculous. Pandering, you know, just annoys me. You're not even allowed to take the piss out of anyone anymore. We used to always take the piss out of people at school. It's funny. And, you know, if there's a load of people laughing and one person who's hurt, you know, where's the harm done? There's more people laughing. That's not true, actually. I'll take that back. I'm going to have lunch in a minute and go for a walk. It's Wednesday. Usually on Wednesdays, I use them for doing admin, what I call admin work, which is kind of like, you know, phone calls, emails, sorting shit out, going shopping, doing washing, all of that kind of crap, you know, pointless stuff, really. But it's got to be done, innit? However, today I haven't done any of that. I've been editing my videos all morning because I'm trying to get my YouTube channel going. I'm trying to put as much effort into it as possible. And to be honest with you, I feel slightly overwhelmed, because you have to make so much content. And I've only got at the moment about 59 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I've been doing it for about 6 months. So I'm not seeing much progress, but it's not going to put me off. I'll keep going and put the effort in. I've made a load of shorts because YouTube has copied TikTok and they want to monopolize on the short features. That's another thing about these social media things. They just copy. These social media companies, they just copy. Like, I heard this morning on the news that Facebook is releasing a Clubhouse clone. Clubhouse is that newest sort of thing where you join rooms and you do sort of voice chat and go on stage and things like that. I know Elon Musk went on it recently, made the news. And it's like Facebook just go, that's a good idea, we'll have that, we'll copy that. And it's like, if you did that in real life, if I put a YouTube video online and it's got someone else's music or film in it, I'll get done for copyright. And yet Facebook apparently can just go, oh yeah, that's good, we'll have that, copy that. No wonder Facebook's dying. I mean, it's trying to keep up, but does anyone even go on it anymore? I don't. I thought it would be useful a while ago. I ran this experiment to see if I could get Facebook page likes, and I managed to get 100,000 on my Facebook page. Called it Jack Simmonds TV or something. But then I realised afterwards that it was utterly pointless because, yeah, you've got all this 100,000 page likes on your Facebook page. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. You post stuff on the page and nobody sees it. No likes, no shares. It's embarrassing. I wish I hadn't bothered. It's good to say that you did it or whatever. I don't know if it will lead to something, maybe a job, but it won't and hasn't. So need to do my physio stretches soon to try and stretch me back and my neck out. I've got a standing desk. That's where I am at the moment, at my standing desk, which is it's cool, man. But I've moved house a couple of times since I've had it, and the little windy down thing that you use to wind the table up and down, it's come off. So whenever I wind the table up and down, which is every day, it makes a fucking racket. Look, listen, how annoying is that? Anyway, I've got to fix it at some point, but I haven't got a screwdriver. It's one of those things, I know I've got one somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Because when you move house a few times, all my stuff's in boxes, and I know it's in one of the boxes, but I just don't know which one, and it really annoys me. But whatever, it's not important really. Saw the Druggies as well earlier. I mentioned that homeless shelter. It's also a kind of drug rehabilitation centre as well. What they did is, there's this church on my road and they, turned it into this drug rehab homeless shelter thing. I can hear them some nights. They're always out at night, I can hear them. It's them. You can hear it in the tone of their voices. They've got that very disaffected sort of, hello mate, you alright? That kind of victim thing. I don't know, it's annoying. But before you start having a go at me saying, oh that's nasty, try living with it. Right, I'll tell you a little story. I went to get my car out of the garage the other week, left the garage open, right, I live in a block of flats, left the garage open, went out for about 20 minutes, get some shopping, came back, 3 druggies in the garage. I drove past, I thought, I can't be dealing with this. They were sat on the floor, sparking up. I don't know what they were doing, but it didn't look social. I didn't want to get involved, let's put it like that. Anyway, I wound the window down and I went, excuse me, what are you doing? And they all looked up and went, oh sorry, is this your garage? I said, yes, I need to park my car. One part of me wanted to tell them to get the fuck out of here before I ran them over. But then the other part of me thought, well, firstly, diplomacy always works. Better than violence. Secondly, I'm not a violent person, and it would be hilarious watching me screw up to 3 druggies, because I've never been in a fight in my life, and I'm not about to start. Thirdly, they could have been carrying anything. Only takes one of them to gauze in your face, and you've got, all manner of things you've got to be immune and vaccinated against, let alone COVID. So anyway, I came back last week. I left the garage closed but not locked. They were in there. Yep, the 3 druggies were back. So if I don't lock the garage, they're in there. I said to them, what are you doing in here now? I told you to get out. They went, oh, sorry, mate, we needed a place to score. I don't know what score means. I think it's something to do with drugs. And they went, we'll give you money if you want to let us stay. I said, no, I don't want your money. I was, on foot this time because I wanted to get some stuff out of the garage because I've got a load of storage in there. And they went, oh, if you could, you stay here because we've been kicked out of the homeless shelter. How do you get kicked out of a homeless shelter? What sort of a prick are you? How unlikable must you be that even a homeless shelter is like, right, that's it. You're too far gone now. Anyway, I said, look, here's 50 quid. Go and buy yourself a McDonald's and leave me garage. They went, alright. Anyway, later that day, after they'd left and I'd locked the garage, I had a knock on the door from a policeman. He says, hello, is this your friend? He says he lives here. In the back of the police car, it was only the bloody druggie who I got rid of earlier. He said he lived with me. I said to the policeman, look, I've got no idea who this geezer is. He said, well, he says he lives there. I said, I don't know him. He said, well, he's put your flat as his residence. I said, listen, mate, Mr. Policeman, I can't remember his name, PC Hargreaves or something like that. It wasn't that, but it was something like that. I said, look, I don't know what's going on here. I didn't know you could just write any old address when you get to the police station. He was in my garage yesterday and I told him to leave. And I gave him 50 quid and now he's here. He said, oh, you gave him money? I said, well, yeah. I said, it's the only way to get rid of him. He said he shouldn't give him money. He said he's been shouting around in the city centre with, alcoholic, drunk and disorderly. I said, that's not my problem. He said, it is. You shouldn't give him 50 quid. I was like, well, I don't know what the rules are here, mate. He said, oh, don't give me that cheek or I'll arrest you. I said, oh, yeah, you'll have to knock my door down first. So I shut the door and locked it. And he went, bang, bang, bang. Open the door. Open the door now. I said, I'm not the criminal here. You are. Or that man is, not me. Leave me alone. He said, right, if you don't open the door, I'm going to bash it down and I'm going to arrest you. I said, yeah, you come here and you try that, man, sunshine. I've got steel lined door, so up yours. He went, ooh, I'm going to bloody murder you. By this point, you're probably thinking, this sounds a bit far-fetched. And yes, it is, because I just made it all up. That never happened. But there were 3 druggies in my garage. That's certainly true. And I had to ask them to leave. The second bit was not true. They didn't come back. So don't believe everything that you hear. Some of it is bollocks, which is an interesting lesson that I've learnt recently, relatively recently. I used to be quite into conspiracy theories, you know? Yeah, it'd be quite interesting. I used to believe all sorts of weird and wonderful things, alternative facts, should I say. But I realised that none of it was really, what should we say, none of it was conducive to a good, long life. So what if you figured out that UFOs exist? What are you going to do about it? Nothing. It's not some big fanfare and then all of a sudden, instantly you're enlightened. Doesn't happen. So I gave up on conspiracy theories. I still have a gullible streak in me. But now, instead of falling for conspiracy theories, I fall for, you can make this much money in 1 hour a day. You can make 50 grand a month. All you have to do is do this shady business thing. I fall for all of that. It's just stupid. However, I am turning over a new leaf now. And, I don't know, putting in the hard work. Let's just say that. Making lots of content, putting it out there, seeing what happens. I tell you what inspired me to do this. There's a book I started reading called Show Your Work. And it basically says that most people think of creatives as lone geniuses, sat at home just knocking out bloody concertos or whatever. But they're not. They are people networking and making work and getting out there and just, even if they think it might be shit, just putting the work out there. I mean, probably no one is going to listen to this. And if they don't, that's fine by me because I don't really want them to. No, I do, but I don't because it's, I don't know, embarrassing slightly. Put yourself out there, but fuck it, let's see what happens. I know I need to do my workout today, really can't be bothered. It's like I feel the resistance to working out big time. Yeah, if you've ever read The War of Art, Stephen Pressfield calls it resistance. It's another word for procrastination. I procrastinate about working out a lot. All I need to do is work out 3 times a week, go jogging and play football a couple of times as well, and I will get fit. Slowly but surely. And yet, still, I find reasons not to. Oh, I'm a bit tired. Oh, I haven't got enough time. Oh, I don't really feel like it. Oh, that inner fucking bitch just needs to be conquered, man. Or I'm going to be a flabby sack of shit for the rest of my life. Which I admit is a distinct possibility, unless I change my discipline. Good old discipline. I haven't got anything to watch at the moment. I mean, there's plenty to watch on TV, but I haven't actually got anything to watch. I finished the most recent series of Poldark, and now I've got a void which I need to fill. It's always the same, isn't it? After you finish a big box set, then you have to try and find something to fill that hole. I don't know. I've never seen Game of Thrones, but it seems like one of those things. It's a big investment. 8 series of it. know if I can be bothered. Depends what you're in the mood for, doesn't it? Any suggestions are welcome. Got to finish this in a minute and apply for some jobs. I'm currently jobless due to the fucking lockdown. Thank you very much, Boris. Don't know what to apply for. I was looking at careers earlier. I looked at all sorts. I looked at becoming a teacher, becoming a policeman, CID. Admittedly, that was after watching Line of Duty, where I thought, this looks like an interesting thing to get into. But I think if you want to join the police, you have to be really into it. You have to love it. And you have to not mind doing extra hours, unpaid. I don't think I'd really be up for that. Also, I couldn't do it anyway, because to become a teacher or a policeman, you have to have at least a 2-2 at bachelor's level, which I do not have, because I failed university. Yes, I know, I am a failure, and that's fine. I'm okay with it. Sort of. I looked at other careers as well, but I don't know what I could do. Gonna go out for a walk in a minute, see if the old man's out, and make sure there's no druggies in my garage. Thanks for listening. Over and out.